Welcome back to the Branson Convention Center. The ACO Pro Series of Cornhole Championship continues. It has been a day full of world-class cornhole, and we are not done yet. Jay Boogie is in the booth with me. I am Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO, as these two players get ready for a win and you're in, lose, and you either go home or you go to the singles bracket at the Branson Major here, and you work your way back into Sunday's $20,000 winner-take-all tournament. Now, Boogie, I was telling you this, these guys work off a couple of different nicknames. J Money, Jaxson Garrison is known as J Money. That's the first I've ever heard of that.
J Money.
Tanner Halbert is known all around the ACO as the Kingslayer because, as we have mentioned, the King of Cornhole has been our champion for the male division for a number of years. The Queen of Cornhole was the women's champion. It's all been consolidated into just a world championship. So it can be a king or a queen, but they will be a single world championship. Tanner Halbert, famous for taking down former kings of cornhole, and the Kingslayer was born.
Absolutely. Took down 5 on the way to the finals at the World Championships. Didn't quite finish it out, but he's going to try to do it here in Branson and in Worlds coming up in Florida. But he's going to have to get through the man, Mr. J Money, right now, because Mr. Jaxson Garrison is going to want to take this one to the bank and cash in with J Money.
And he wants to join a fella that we mentioned earlier, Randall Garrison, who would be his doubles partner and his father. So we already have a couple from the Hurt Locker, Isaac Hurt and Caleb Hurt in. That first bag comes out of Tanner's hands with that opening salvo. He puts it in, and it looks like we are off and pitching.
That's right. We're off to the races. We got 3 bags in the hole already. These guys have tested the boards out all day. They're feeling them. They know what to do. In. Continues the trend. Does Mr. Jackson. Tanner says, I got my last one in too. What you gonna do?
And
splash 8 under the board.
We have got to point out that is a great way to start. 8 bags in the hole, 8 bags with the sticky side down, with that kind of power to hit and get in there and not play that lower blocker bag. Every one of those was intended for the hole.
Yes, sir, absolutely was. And like you said, they were all on the sticky side, and it shows you the power and the aggression from both of these guys right here. And that's what you want to see. You want to see some shots coming out of hands with some meaning behind them. Say, hey, that wasn't a lucky shot. I meant to do that.
Yeah, both of these guys are stand pitchers. They stand pat where they are. They both have a very deliberate flat bag, but as you'll notice, and we've discussed this a number of times, Tanner throws left leg out, right hand toss. That one a little bit off the back of the bag, but Jaxson, right hand toss, right leg out. That's totally different styles, but so often the same result.
And I think that often goes back to, and I don't know if Tanner's got a baseball history, but a lot of baseball players that carried over to cornhole will do that. Will cross their body because, a crow hop from the outfield or a pitcher will cross their body when they sling it. Get over, he says. It didn't listen to him and backed up right on the right side of his. But Jackson's looking at a red wall right here. Does he want to try to bust through it, or is he going over the top? Because there is some room behind that thing, and we're going to see.
He's coming across the top, and he just leaves it alone. I thought he was going to try to work that pancake stack right into the hole, but it turns out he was happy with what he's going to get there. He's going to take a couple of points out of that one. Oh, he's dropping just the penny on there. I thought he was going to have the deuce, but it's just that penny, as Hal calls it. Our buddy Boom Hal, who's been announcing a lot of these matches through the course of the day. Again, this is a win, and you are in one of the 8 finalists from a field of 20 that started the day.
That's right, and you speak about Boom Hal. Last time I was up here calling with him, he mentioned the rotation on Tanner's bag. Now, I know it's hard to see on camera because it's moving so fast, but this thing is moving at a high rate of speed when it comes through the air, spinning.
And so often when Halbert is playing, he is playing somebody whose rotation might be half of what his is, but Garrison has a pretty serious flat rotation spin on his bag as well, and that gives them a lot of action when they do come into contact with other bags. Didn't do him any favors here, leaving 4 woodies up on the board, but coming in, dropping one in and dropping one off the board still allows him to get on the board and take a 5 spot and a 5-1 lead with that higher seed in that blue bag, and he gets that first bag back.
And in comparison to the power and the strength and the high rotation of both of these guys. They got the same style. It's kind of like going into a UFC fight when you got two strikers. You know what you're going to get. You know, it's going to be some bombs thrown. We're going to get in the middle. We're going to throw down. And that's what Tanner and Jaxson plan on doing right here. Great game to start off, looking at 5-1.
Boy, and there was a little hitch there. Jaxson getting ready to pitch, and he stopped, and you don't see that very often. Once they get into that motion, he stopped and recentered himself. Looks like somebody's getting ready to maybe clean this up just a little bit and open up the center.
Ooh,
big push.
Goes up for a push. Didn't expect that. I thought maybe he'd go for the airmail, but guess what? Kingslayer will. Bingo, right bango. Don't dare him twice, ladies and gentlemen. He will do it. Jaxson goes for the same thing, but he leaves one in the backyard. Going up again. Splash!
Oh,
Kingslayer puts another one in with the walk-off fist pump. Oh, just off the rim there for Jaxson.
Boy, and I tell you something, you don't often see him rim out that hard. That looks like just
yeah, that one had some stank on it when it was coming in, and it just caught the outside of that rim and sent it sailing off to the left side.
That's that 1 foot putt that you lip out and it goes 2 feet away from the hole right there. It had that kind of action on it. But again, as we talked about, both of them have a lot of serious flat spin action on their bags, and that's what you get if it doesn't hit exactly where you need it to.
That's exactly right. Here comes Kingslayer putting it on the right side. Not exactly where he wanted that blocker bag, but it still has an effect. And Jaxson shaking his head, so it looks like it may have affected him a smidge as they're stacking them up in a train formation right here in front of the hole. Jaxson going to take the Nikes out to the left side and try to come around with the red bag, but he's got it on the sticky side, and it takes a bounce as the Kingslayer goes up for another airmail. Now check it out how it stopped. They hit that little sliver of the backside of the board but didn't go off.
Right, and it wasn't enough of a vibration to drop that first bag that he laid in there. It has one of Jackson's bags laying on top of it, sort of pinning it there on the right side of the hole.
Look
and somehow that is a fantastic shot.
That's a 3-and-D player.
Oh, and look at that right there. Asked and answered.
The absurdity of the shots out of these guys is ridiculous. Can't even get the words out of my mouth before they send another one. Splash! Oh. My goodness gracious!
How about that? And the Taters exchanged across the court. Just some amazing shot making, and we have seen this all day long here in Branson. The shots just keep getting more important, and they just keep getting more impressive. It is unbelievable the skill level it takes to pull these off. And when you have players that are matched as evenly as this, I don't think sometimes you can appreciate just how good these shots are.
Finn, I know you're famous. I know you probably got Denny Hamlin's number in your phone. Please give him a call, because FedEx Air is flying through Branson right now. That is absurd. The audacity of these guys to throw amazing shots like that. Continuing to put them down under the wooden sunroof. Nice little blocker bag on Tanner's side. Doesn't worry about it. Comes up the right side and says, hey, what you gonna do with this one, Mr. Garrison? I can do it too. He's gonna take his time. Think about it. Sends a slick side. That's our first slick side bag we've seen this game.
And I would guarantee it might be the last one you see from Jaxson Garrison, because that did not pan out as hoped. And then Halbert drains another one. He uses every single thing there was to bank off of.
Yes,
and pulled the perfect bank shot. That's like calling the 8-ball right there, my friend.
I mean, jumped over the red bag, the hole, slammed on brakes, stood up, threw it in reverse, splash.
Dove right back in.
Somebody better tell him that's not even a 3-foot in. That's a 1 foot deep pool. So you better be careful.
Be careful diving. I'm going to tell you something else. We are going to have to create a J Boogie to English dictionary that also allows for cornhole players around the world to start to adopt some of that vernacular that you've got, because it is as descriptive as anything you're going to hear out there in any sport.
It's called boogie-nacular.
At all. There you go.
Boogie-nacular.
Put a little boogie on it. That's what you need to do. All right, cleaning it up just a little bit.
Check them out.
That's a fantastic shot there under pressure from Halbert and matched by Garrison. He picks up a 2-spot there, 15-4, and as we've seen time and time again, no lead is safe. So we will continue to watch for that consistency, for that mind game, and now Garrison has that first bag.
Yep, absolutely not over. It never is. Kingslayer knows what he needs to do to close this thing out. He's done it, 1,000 times. But Mr. Jackson's been here 1,000 times as well. He knows what it takes to chip away and get back at that lead, get to double digits and slim it down. That one off to the left may not come back. I can't tell from where we're sitting about how much is in the hole, but I do know that Jaxson has a red one in front of those blues as he tries to roll back to go over the top. We might have a clog here.
And he's got a bag hanging hard right there. That's the laundry basket we referred to earlier.
That's it. And the first slick bag from the Kingslayer. Not going to bother with the airmail, does Jaxson. He's going to just see what it does with a push.
Now, what do you think?
I like the
smart play is a little timeout. This is only our second timeout of the afternoon, but this is absolutely something he wants to take a close look at because this could be.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, what he's looking at, check him out. They're getting all the way down to see just how much those bags are hanging down under the hole. Seeing what they can see, how much pinch is it, how many corners is holding this thing up, because a shake to the board could drop them, or as we just seen, like I said, FedEx is still flying, and the Kingslayer is not scared to throw an airmail here and jackhammer this thing.
Well, he's got that sticky side down, and he has his plan. He's going low, and he's just laying it down there. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't blame him there, because it could have been bad. You know, he could have threw that airmail and lost the one that came out of his hand to the backyard.
Right.
You know, he may have emptied the laundry basket, but
he could have bounced right over that drink holder right there, and that would have been
all Randalls were on. That
would have just been psychologically just a loss there, there. So no blood, no foul. Probably the best way to get out of that frame.
There you go. Moving on. First bag's in the air, and it's in the hole.
And so often there are times when you will see that first one in the hole and you know 8 of them are going in, but this particular time it makes perfect sense for Halbert to throw that blocker bag and force that exact shot right there.
That shot right there. Make him think about it, make him do something.
Ooh.
He almost did the brakes and reverse thing again.
Almost, absolutely.
This guy's creating another shot we're going to have to name.
I think that's called the drop the transmission.
Dropped it out.
When you're going that far, that fast, that forward, and you throw it in reverse. Now, Garrison able to sneak one in and roll it over. Oh, look at that. That's a fantastic, insane shot by Halbert to take his blocker bag, take it in there, and drag it in with that bag right out of his hand. And he's still got that one hanging on the back of the hole.
Phenomenal air, man.
Just a great shot.
If I know him like I do, he's going to want that
A great answer right
there.
Oh.
Tried it. Not enough on it. Not quite enough on it to get it there, but he wanted it bad.
All right, 15-6. Couple of points here, couple of points there, and that's all it takes. But that kind of shot making is what we've become accustomed to all day, and it's just going to continue to get better as we work our way to that Sunday $20,000 winner-take-all 16-person single elimination tournament. This has been double elimination today, so you have seen some of the best players multiple times, because if they lost first round, they had to work their way back in, and that's what we're looking at right now. Jay Boogie and Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO, calling the action here on the Stadium Network here in Branson, Missouri, the convention center, the home of the greatest cornhole on the planet right now. This is the center of the cornhole universe.
Yes, sir, it is, and we're happy to be here. We're also happy for all our sponsors to make this thing go on like it does. Loco Cannon Piece, Tahoe Jerky. I've been chewing on that stuff since we got here. I can't get my hands off of it. It's amazing, man. We've had a great time out here, and it's just going to get better. Great slide.
Nice slide shot in there to take advantage of that open space, and answered by Tanner Halbert. All right, so
fist pump, come on from Tanner.
You're starting to see a little bit more of a motion than you're seeing from certain players, and it's kind of funny because as we've come to know these players, male and female, over the years, you get to know their personality. We're in their big room with 400 players,
right?
But when they get out here and it's quiet, you can hear everything, and they can hear what we're saying.
Yeah.
You start to wonder, when is that personality going to start showing through? And you're seeing a little bit of that fire start to come as you get a little bit closer to that big payday.
That's right. Later on in the day, everybody's used to the conditions, they've gotten comfortable with it, and that's what we want to see, is the emotion, that fire.
That's a fantastic, great push and a great cleanup right there, leaving that center wide open, but Garrison unable to take advantage of that. You got to figure that he's going to work to pull that one in there.
Yeah, at this point in the match, he's got to.
No point in playing it safe, because it's.
And he does. He tried it. Just a sliver of the hole in the front there causes it to flop over. Contemplating. Does the Kingslayer. Takes his time, lets it fly. Slides in.
And he is.
And Very nice V block there.
Absolutely done what he wanted to do, and that was give zero access to the hole.
And to do it. Yep, it's conceded.
Oh, he's conceded.
He's
He's going to toss that last bag and let it happen. It's just stacked up. How about that? The Kingslayer makes his way one step closer to $20,000. You win, and you're in at this point. Jaxson Garrison, a great effort there throughout the course of the day, drops it 21-6. So right now we are looking at Eric Zockline, a former world champion and king of cornhole, Josh All-Day Glover, Isaac Hurt, Caleb Hurt, Randall Garrison. You just saw Jaxson play. Randall is his father. He has made it to the round of 8 who are going to be carried on through Sunday, but now who's it going to be next? We will have more of the greatest cornhole on earth coming to you here in just a few, so stay close. Keep your eye on ACO, AmericanCornhole.com. We have got it all and more. You ain't seen nothing yet, as a lot of people like to say. We will get back to the ACO Pro Series Cornhole Championships and the qualifier.